What happens when love enters someone's life at the most complicated moment possible? Not when life feels simple. Not when everything feels calm. But when pressure feels overwhelming. Responsibilities are growing, and the future already feels planned. Now imagine that reality for Princess Leonor, Spain's future queen, someone growing up under extraordinary expectations. Someone whose future may never feel completely private. Because while royal life may look glamorous from the outside, love may not always arrive at the perfect moment. And today, we're exploring one emotional question. What if Princess Leonor falls in love at the wrong time? Could responsibility complicate everything? Could pressure make personal happiness harder to protect? Or could love become exactly what someone needs during difficult moments? Let's explore. Love doesn't always arrive when life feels ready. Here's something true for almost everyone. Love rarely follows perfect timing. Sometimes people fall for someone during stressful moments. Big transitions, career pressure, emotional uncertainty, life changes. And Princess Leonor's life already carries unusual expectations. Public appearances, preparation for the future, responsibility growing stronger year after year. So what happens if something deeply personal enters during such an important chapter? Perhaps timing suddenly becomes complicated. Because emotions rarely wait for the perfect moment. And maybe that reality feels even harder when millions quietly pay attention. Royal life may make relationships feel different. Relationships already take effort, trust, time, privacy, communication. Now imagine building something meaningful while public attention quietly follows. Questions appear, rumors spread, people speculate, private moments suddenly feel less private. That alone could create pressure. Because protecting something personal becomes harder when life feels public. Future royals may not only think about emotions. They may also think about responsibility, expectations, public attention, timing. And maybe balancing all those things feels emotionally exhausting at times. What if responsibility and love collide? Here's where things become especially emotional. What if love appears exactly when responsibilities feel overwhelming? Military preparation, public expectations, a changing future, personal growth. Could someone ever feel torn between emotional happiness and public duty? Perhaps. That tension feels deeply human. Because many people experience moments where life demands difficult balance. But for someone like Princess Leonor, stakes may feel larger. The future isn't simply personal. It may feel historical, symbolic, meaningful to millions. And perhaps that reality could make emotional decisions feel heavier than outsiders imagine. The pressure of the world watching. Now imagine trying to understand your own feelings, while everyone else suddenly has opinions. People speculate online, photos get analyzed, stories spread quickly, questions never stop. Who is this person? Is the relationship serious? What happens next? That level of attention could feel overwhelming, especially during emotional moments when privacy matters most. And perhaps one hidden challenge of royal life is learning how to protect meaningful things from outside noise. Because sometimes what matters most grows best quietly, not publicly. But what if love becomes a source of strength? Here's another way to think about this story. What if love arrives at exactly the right time? Even if life feels complicated. Sometimes meaningful relationships help people feel stronger, calmer, more understood, less alone, and maybe someone carrying extraordinary responsibility could value emotional support even more. Because pressure feels easier when someone truly understands you. Perhaps love doesn't always distract from responsibility. Sometimes it strengthens resilience, creates balance, brings emotional stability. That possibility feels hopeful and deeply human. Maybe there is never a right time for love. Here's a question worth thinking about. Is there ever truly a perfect moment to fall in love? Life always feels busy, complicated, uncertain. Big responsibilities always exist. Perhaps waiting for perfect timing means waiting forever. And maybe emotional connection happens when it happens. Unexpectedly, quietly, naturally. Princess Leonor's life may feel unusual. But in some ways, emotional experiences remain universal. People still hope, care, connect, dream. And perhaps the truth matters most. The human side people sometimes forget. Sometimes people see royalty and imagine rules, tradition, responsibility, ceremony. But behind every title exists someone navigating emotions, questions, growth, personal hopes, uncertainty, and perhaps one emotional truth feels impossible to ignore. Even future queens may someday experience difficult timing, emotional decisions, and complicated feelings. Because royal life may shape responsibility. but it doesn't erase humanity. And maybe that's what makes stories like this feel so fascinating. They remind people that even extraordinary lives still face ordinary emotional questions. So, what if Princess Leonor falls in love at the wrong time? The truth is, nobody knows what the future holds. Perhaps timing becomes difficult, perhaps responsibility creates challenges, or perhaps meaningful connection arrives exactly when someone needs it most. But one thing feels certain. Balancing personal happiness and extraordinary responsibility may never feel simple, especially when the world quietly watches. Because crowns may shape duty, but emotions still remain deeply human. What do you think? Could royal responsibility make love more difficult? Or can personal happiness and duty truly exist together? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal stories, hidden truths, and fascinating discussions.